Hey everybody, you are in the reaction room with Rese. Welcome in. Today I'm doing a recap of season 1, episode 107. But before we get started, I need your help. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Okay, let's see what's happening beyond the gates. We start off at Ashley's apartment. Naomi asks Ashley, "What is wrong? What are you not telling me about my dad and Haley's baby?" Ashley says, "It's nothing." And Naomi says, "I can tell you're holding something back." Ashley tells her she can't disclose confidential medical information to anyone. Naomi says, "Well, what if you don't use any names?" So Ashley eventually tells her that Haley refused the ultrasound. Over at Uptown, Haley comes out of the bathroom with blood on her shirt, screaming, "Something's wrong." Danny says, "Let me help you." Haley tells her, "Don't you touch me." Danny also offers to drive her to the hospital. But Haley says, "I'd rather go with a total stranger than with you." She points to a guy who's standing around and asks him to take her. Vanessa meets up with Doug at Orphe Jeans, and she tells him, "I want you to lay off Joey." She tells him to stop threatening to expose her business dealings with him. Doug has clearly been drinking, and he says, "Oh, you mean the money laundering?" And he said it loud enough for everybody to hear it. Vanessa says, "That's not funny. Joey is very dangerous." And then she tells him that Joey put a bug in his car. The chief shows up at the casino. He says he's there on official police business. He tells Joey, "I'm here about a murder." And then he tells him about Kenneth as if neither one of them knew what went down. He says, "I know you're up to your neck in this, but I put a lid on the case, and it's officially closed, so I'm doing you a big favor." Joey says, "You're also doing yourself a favor." The chief tells Joey, "No one can know what happened 2 years ago. Can we agree on that?" And Joey says, "With pleasure." Naomi and Ashley are trying to figure out why Haley would lie about the ultrasound. And then Ashley tells her that Danny is convinced that Haley is faking the pregnancy. Naomi says she's going to confront Haley about the fake sonogram. Danny calls Bill and tells him what happened to Haley. And then the guy who took Haley to the hospital came back for her purse and her phone. He said his name was Sammy, but it's actually Randy, who used to work for Joey. He basically tells Danny to stay away from Haley. And Danny recognizes him from somewhere. Back at Orphe Jeans, Doug tells Vanessa that she's got to stop doing business with Joey. Vanessa says, "We'd be giving up a lot of money," but Doug said it's not worth it. Vanessa tells Doug, "It's too late. I'm in too deep." She says, "If you expose Joey, then you expose me too. Are you willing to do that?" Doug says he'll back off. After Vanessa leaves, Doug sees Randy at Orphe Jeans, and he asks him, "Why are you showing your face in town? Are you insane?" At the casino, Joey and the chief are shaking hands, and then Jacob walks in. He followed his dad there, and he said, "Why am I not surprised to see the two of you hanging out together?" The chief asked Joey to give them some privacy, and then Jacob calls his dad a crooked cop. He says, "You are my role model." And then he asks him, "Have you always been as dirty as Malone?" The chief tells him to shut his ungrateful mouth, and he calls out Jacob's hypocrisy when it comes to the Duprees. He really goes in on Jacob. He tells him, "You're not perfect." He tells Jacob to stay away from that case because it's closed, and he assigns him to desk duty. Naomi goes over to Bill's house, and she asks Haley straight up, "Why did you lie about your ultrasound?" But before she can answer, Bill walks in, and Haley tells him that she lost the baby. And that's how the show ended. What did you think about episode 107? Let's talk about it in the comments. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.